Hello everybody, welcome to this second of our transitions videos. We've put these videos together to explain some of the simple ways you can support your child with the skills they'll need for starting school. Today's video is focused all on thinking skills. So that's being able to solve problems, having the confidence to explain their own ideas and tackle new experiences. When we think about school, we probably think about worrying about how well our children will be able to sit and listen and follow instructions. And as an ex-reception class teacher, I'm not going to tell you that that doesn't matter. But what we're talking about today is children being able to make choices about how and when they learn and what new things they tackle. So here, Helen, who's an early years teacher from a local school, explains why these skills are important and what you can do as a parent to help.
Hello, my name's Helen Tate and I am a reception teacher. I just wanted to talk to you today about some of the key areas that we focus on when children come into reception. Sometimes classes may be up to 30 children and they will be accessing an environment, both indoors and outdoors, that's full of wonder and creativity and exploration. And it's sometimes that's quite daunting for young children to have to make choices as to where they would like to learn and like to explore, whether it be inside or outside. And we really focus on characteristics of effective learning that will enable children to enjoy their time at school, to learn through play, and also to develop independence and problem-solving skills, which are critical as they move through life. So the three characteristics of effective learning are engagement, playing and exploring. So your children will have the opportunity to make choices as to what they would like to explore at points in the day. And we also want children to be motivated and excited to learn. Another key characteristic is to enable children to create and problem solve on their own. As a mum of a 19 and 22-year-old, it's very easy to do things for your children, and sometimes it's quicker and like I said, a lot easier. But actually what we want to be doing is to enable children to make choices on their own. So when children come into the classroom, there may be a maths area or a DO area or a role play area or a small world area that they can make choices as to where they'd like to learn in. And this is really, really important. So the sorts of things that you can do at home are to maybe give the children choices, ask them which one they would prefer, ask them open-ended questions. And by that I mean where there isn't just one answer. So for example, a closed question is where you might say, what colour is your top? And the child might say blue or red. If you change that question to, can you tell me about your top? What the children will respond back to you with will be much more open, and you'll get more language from that question and actually understand what's going on in your child's head a little bit more. So to give children choices is really, really important. And don't always fix things for them. So if they come across a problem, maybe ask them the question, well, how could you solve that? How could you make that work? How could you make it better? And so on and so forth. So that the children are thinking for themselves and becoming more independent in what they do and their thought processes. And they'll surprise you. Children are very good at solving problems if we let them go. Obviously, if they get frustrated and cross, then of course you help them. But actually, this is a key skill that we really focus on when children start school, being independent and solving problems on their own with adult help when needed. Hope that's helpful, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, bye.
Thanks, Helen, that's great. So we just thought we'd bring you a couple of our favourite tips and ideas for problem solving play. The first of those is the pasta building challenge. This one is really simple. So you just take some pasta and then set your child a challenge. Maybe they could make something really tall or really beautiful. You could give them different options for fixing the spaghetti or the pasta together. They could use tape or mini marshmallows, we've done that in class, or little bits of Play-Doh. Anything, they might be able to think of something themselves. And thanks to the consortium for this great idea, can you build a bridge strong enough to hold a toy car? This one's held together with enormous marshmallows. So the pasta challenge is a great example of using open-ended resources. The problem with lots of toys is that they don't really offer children much in the way of a chance to think for themselves. They usually only really do one thing. If you want to encourage creativity and problem solving, open-ended resources are a great way to do this. And by open-ended resources, we mean things that can be used in lots of different ways. So garden canes are cheap and great open-ended resources. They can be used for den building and obstacle courses. Cardboard tubes are easy to get hold of, and if you download the handout that accompanies this video, there's a great link there to a building challenge. And other ideas of open-ended resources are logs, pebbles and shells, and all of these can be used in lots of different ways, including challenges and natural artwork. So hopefully with all of those ideas, you might be able to think of some challenges and open-ended play that you can do at home with your child to help build their thinking skills. When we're doing these kind of challenges and open-ended play, often that's a great opportunity to start talking about number. And we know that lots of parents worry thinking about maths in reception class. Does my child need to be able to write numbers? Should they be recognising numbers? But actually there are much more useful things that you can be doing with them in terms of number before they start reception class. So we wanted to give you some tips. So using number names and language spontaneously just means using numbers in their play. And the more that you use everyday opportunities to talk about numbers, the more your children will, like how many goals they've scored in the football. When you're out and about, or even just around the house, there are loads of opportunities to look out for numbers. Look down at the pavement when you're out for a walk, there's numbers on the manhole covers, and look up at the road signs. Look all around you for numbers and talk about them all the time. Some children might start to show an interest in how numbers are actually written down and might try to write them. Don't get anxious about this. Writing numbers is actually really hard, and teachers don't expect children to be able to write their numbers or their letters when they start school. It all comes with time. But what's good is if they start to realise we can write numbers down. And the best way for children to realise about the purposes of writing numbers and letters is for them to see you doing it. So let them see you writing down phone numbers or writing down some prices on a shopping list. Let them see you writing. Lastly, there are so many things that can be counted, and the more counting you can do with your child, the better. Whether that's singing counting rhymes, counting your steps, counting the ducks on the pond, counting spoonfuls of sugar into your coffee in the morning. The more counting you can do, the more they get used to how counting works. The BBC Teach website has loads of links to number rhymes and number songs if your memory of those from when you were a child is a little bit rusty now. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to join us for our next video, which is all about early literacy skills. So some hints and tips and ideas on how to get your child ready for early reading, early writing, and building their communication skills. See you then.